I'm student in 1964, and I learned about Pancasila and the multiple aspect principles that form the basic of our country.
I'm studying year 2024. I learned about the influence of globalization on local culture and how technology is changing the way we interact.
Years to perspectives, students in 1964 lived in the spirit of revolution and national ideology education, where students in 2024 grew up in a globally connected world, familiar with technology, and think critically about change. Then, what exactly has changed from our education system? Why does the curriculum keep changing from time to time? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5, Inspiring Girl. I am Bayuanisa Etobis with my friends Mia Radia, Putri Maharani, Indah Putri Ramadhani, Maulida Suratna, and Siti Raihan. So now we will explain about advantage and disadvantage curriculum in Indonesia. Now I will explain about 1947 and 1952 curriculum. The advantage of 1947 curriculum focused on building national character. The curriculum aimed to develop the character of the Indonesian people. Second, served as a unifying tool for the nation. It helped unite the nation through a common educational system. Third, adopted previous educational experience to ease implementation. It used past educational practice to simplify its application. The disadvantage, still influenced by colonial education systems. The curriculum was not entirely independent from colonial education structures. Second, did not yet develop cognitive and psychomotor domains. It lacked focus on students' thinking skills or cognitive and physical skills or psychomotor. Third, implementation was delayed. This officially applied in 1950. There was a gap between planning and execution. The 1952 curriculum, the advantage first aimed toward a national education system. This curriculum was designed to build an independent and unified national education. Second, lesson based on students' real-life needs. Learning materials were tailored to students' everyday life situations. Third, one teacher per subject allowed deeper subject mastery. Teachers specialized in one subject, which led to better subject expertise. The disadvantage, first, not yet implemented even across Indonesia. It was not fully adopted in all religions. Second, like future-oriented content, it didn't adequately prepare students for future challenges. Third, teachers' creativity was limited due to detailed lesson plans. Strict and detailed plans left little room for creative teaching methods. Next, we will be continue with my friend.
Curriculum, oh yeah, curriculum 1964 and 1968 refers from the curriculum 1964. Advance of the 1964 curriculum is one hol- holistic approach. What is holistic approach? Its main develops moral, intelligence, emotional skill, and physical aspect into vertical orientation. It means prepare students for the workforce through skill aligned with interests. And the third is clear structure. It means eliminate early tracking in junior and senior high school. And the last is correlated curriculum. It means learning in interconnect across subject. And the disadvantages of the 1964 curriculum is one, strong political context. It means support certain ideologies, especially in civic education. Two, limitation of individual freedom. It means reject liberalism and individualism. Three, limits scope at basic level. It means purely on basic education with less attention and advanced education. And the last is still traditional in some aspect. It means still use parent subject learning method. And next is advance of the 1968 curriculum. The one is formation of Pancasila character. It's mean designed to instill Pancasila values in students. I mean to create a generation in noble character. Two, skill development. Focus on enhancing student intelligence and practice skill to prepare them for challenge in the workforce. Three, organic structure. It means feature a clear framework and that facilitates teacher in planning and implementing lessons systemically. Four, integration of subject. It means integrates various disciplines to improve students with a comprehensive understanding. And the last is practical activity. That means encourage students to engage in activity relevant to daily life and change their learning experience. And this disadvantage of the 1968 curriculums, the one is limited contact relevance. That means the material talk of often considered irrelevant to the changing time and student needs. Two, lack of flexibility in teaching methods. The method used tend to be rigid. And three, limited access system. That means assessments focus more quantitative aspect. Four, implementation challenge. That means many teachers lack adequate training to effectively implement the curriculum, and the last is unresponsive to change. And that means the curriculum struggle to adapt to rapid social and technological change, functional lending to educational lake. Next.
Okay, I will present to 1975 curriculum. The 1975 curriculum had both advantages and disadvantages. Advantages include effectiveness and efficiency, as well as a focus on skill development. However, it also had disadvantages such as administrative burden and lack of flexibility. This means while helping improve learning and skill, it also made teachers deal with a lot of paperwork and give little room to adjust teaching methods. Thanks. Next is curriculum 1984. 1. Advantage of the 1984 curriculum. Number 1 is detailed learning materials and methods. which means is the curriculum provides details, materials, and teaching methods, making it easier for teachers and students to implement. Second, enhance student engagement. The CBSA, which is Cara Belajar Siswa Aktif, approach encourage students to take a more active role in learning, boosting their confidence in discussion and express opinions. Third is experience-based learning. Students were encouraged to learn through direct experience, such as observing, categorizing, and reporting, which deepened their understanding. Fourth is high social and intellectual interaction. The curriculum provides intensive interaction among students, both intellectually and socially. The disadvantage of the 1984 curriculum, number one, is misinterpretation of CBSA. Many schools misapply the CBSA approach, resulting in noisy and uncurriculum classrooms. Second, dependence on textbooks and fixed methods. Teachers and students become overly reliant on textbooks and predetermined methods, limiting creativity and flexibility in learning. Third, dominance of certain students in class. Learning processes tend to be dominated by more active students, leaving others passive and left behind. Fourth, incomplete coverage of subject matter. Discussion-based learning required more time, often causing students to fall short of mastering all the required material. And then there are 1994 curriculum till 1999 curriculum. First, we will discuss about 1994 curriculum. Advantage of the 1994 curriculum plus supply 1999. First, more structure and standardizes the GPBP, which is General Guidelines of Teaching Program, outlines uniform subject matter across Indonesia, assuring content equally among schools. Second, 1999 supplement as an encampment. This supplement was introduced to align lesson content with the times and local needs, without having to completely replace the curriculum. Third, more detailed and specific, which is the supplement provides further details on basic competencies and indicators teachings must achieve in their teaching, making the evaluation process easier. Fourth, attempt the school types. For example, in subjects like history, there are differences in context between General High School, which is SMU, Islamic High School MA, and vocational schools SMK, tailored to each institution needs. Now, this advantage of the 1994 curriculum plus 1999 supplement. First, overly heavy content load. There are too many subjects and too broad a scope overwhelming students. The supplement adds content instead of simplifying it. Second, still centralized. The central government determines most of the curriculum content. The teachers act merely as implementers, not developers, limiting their creativity space. Third, traditional approach. The focus is still on memorization and cognitive understanding rather than on critical thinking or analytical skills, especially in history lessons. Fourth, lack of flexibility. This supplement does not provide enough freedom for region or teachers to adapt the curriculum to local context or student needs.
And I will present tense for curriculum 24 and 26. Curriculum 24 or KBK, kurikulum berbasis kompetensi. Advantages of KBK. 1. Oriented toward real competencies needed by students. Focus on the ability to live, work, and learn throughout life. 2. Prioritize active learning process. Students become the subject of learning,
while teacher become facilitator. 3. Develop various aspects of skills and personality. Cognitive knowledge, physical motor, technical skill, effective attitudes and values. 4. Based on a holistic and integrative approach, learning integrates various intelligence and approach. 5. Adopting the principle of lifelong learning, raising our awareness of the importance of continuous learning. 6. Keeping up with global developments and future needs. KBK is influenced by the concept of multiple intelligence and UNESCO for the advantage of KBK. 1. Usable implementation. Many schools or will change the names of subjects without changing the overall approach. 2. Tendency to materialize the curriculum instead of implementing the 4 pillars of learning in a lesson. They are instead made into a spread group of subjects, which is contrary to integrative spirit of KBK. 3. Challenge for teachers or lecturers to be competent and creative in designing, complementing, and applying competency-based learning. And last, requires major change in the learning system. The learning environment, method, and assessment must be adjusted, but many educational institutions are not yet ready to do this comprehensively. Advantages of KBK, curriculum, and advantages of KSP curriculum. One, the centralization of education. KSP gives free to educational units to design curriculum according to local needs and characteristics. This also explore the potential to their expensive regional. 2. Adaptive and flexible. The KSP concept enable educational units to be more responsive to Indonesia's social and geographical diversity, as well as depth science, art, and the needs of the world of work. 3. Encourage cultural diversity. KTSP is considered a policy that respects local rather than standardizing everything. Last, factor participatory. The participation of KTSP involve many parties, including the principal, counselor, schools committee, and education office. So it is really reflect the real need of the environment. Weakness of human resource inequality. Not all education needs have adequate human resource to design and implement the curriculum independently. This can cause an inequality in schools. 2. National examination as the main benchmark. The emphasis of the national examination as the sole standard for graduation contradict the principle that each individual has different level of intelligence. 3. Teachers. Many teachers are not fully prepared to understand and implement locally adapted curriculum, so implementation is not always optimal. Next.
I will about curriculum 2013. The advanced text of the 2013 curriculum. 1. Comprehensive explanation. This journal provides an in-depth understanding of curriculum change, especially regarding curriculum 2013. 2. Appropriate descriptive method. The use of descriptive method to analyze the implementation of the 2013 curriculum is highly relevant. 3. Focus on improving learning quality. This research highlights the relationship between the implementation of curriculum 2013. 4. Relevance to education policy. The author relate the research findings to government policy. Disadvantages of the 2000 curriculum. 1. Lack of direct empirical data. While this journal analyzes the implementation of the curriculum in general. 2. Emphasis on the theory without the practical implementation. This research mostly explanation the stories and concept of curriculum 2013. 3. Challenges in implementation have not been addressed in depth. The challenge in implementation the curriculum, it does not discuss in depth the concrete solution that can be implemented by teacher. 4. Lack for focus on direct evaluation of teacher and students. The journal mostly discusses policy and theory, but does not explore direct evaluation of teacher and students. And I will about the independent curriculum. 1. Flexibility of learning allows teacher to adjust teaching methods according to student needs and abilities. 2. Focus on the character and competition development students. Character of the various subject and collaborative and projects. 3. Improve quality of learning. Promote deeper and more meaningful learning and improve student literacy. 3. Resource support. Providing teaching tools, training models, and learning communicacy to support teacher in implementation.
I think that's all for us. We hope that through this presentation, we can all better understand the importance of the curriculum in shaping the character, mindset, and competitiveness of Indonesian students. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.